Följande pjäs är baserad på exempel som är hämtade ur de böcker om bhakti yoga av Krishnarörelsens grundare, Srila Prabhupada. Nästan varje dag i tidningarna, på radion och tvn får vi höra talas om människor som går på strejk för att de känner sig orättvist behandlade. Lärare strejkar, studenter strejkar, poliser strejkar, fackföreningar strejkar och sopgubbar strejkar. Så här kommer berättelsen om en rätt så ovanlig strejk, kroppsdelarnas strejk. En gång för länge sedan kallade alla kroppsdelarna till ett möte. De var missnöjda över hur allting var arrangerat. Varje kroppsdel hävdade att den jobbade så hårt, men magen fick all belöning. De kunde alla komma överens om att detta var orättvist.
Orättvist! 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 Orättvist!
Vi plockar, vi väljer, vi gör så mycket jobb, vi använder våra egenskaper. Men magen tar alltihop och vi förblir tomhänta.
Ja just det, vi bär allt också.
Ögonen, näsan och munnen la fram sina åsikter.
Och jag tittar alltid efter de mest attraktiva bitarna. Men bara för ett ögonblick. För magen tar alltid slut.
Det är jag som sköter kvalitetskontrollen. Utan mig skulle magen inte veta vad som var bra eller dåligt.
Ja, just det. Och jag tuggar va. Jag får smaka lite, men så är det snabbt borta. Och så går det ner till magen va. Tugga och smaka, det är allting jag gör. Och fort tar det slut. Jag har fått nog.
Benen och fötterna ställde sig tillsammans och talade unisont.
Ni säger att ni har det dåligt. Det är vi som bär runt hela projektet. Vi går överallt, står många timmar i köket och står i långa köer.
Sen, när magen är lycklig och full, så ska vi bära runt på den hela tiden. Det är vi som står stadigt. Vi måste strejka.
Strejk! 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 Strejk!
Så blev det tyst. Och så gick alla kroppsdelarna och strejkade mot magen. Men de fick inte som de ville. Nej, raka motsatsen. De började alla känna sig svaga och skakiga. Men av envishet så fortsatte de att strejka mot magen ändå. Den nedre delen av kroppen vägrade jobba på magen, men kände sig väldigt trött. Ögonen ville inte titta på mer mat. Näsan höll sig borta från allt doftande ätbart. Munnen i protest förblev tyst och vägrade tugga någonting. Händerna, som var mest arga på magen, brydde sig inte ens om att de blev svagare och svagare. En gång gick händerna till och med ut för att njuta på egen hand. Men detta försök var fruktlöst. Helt fruktlöst.
Vad ska du göra? Jag ska visa att jag kan njuta på egen hand. Hur går det? Det går inte! Byt hand! Använd båda händerna. Ja, hur går det? Det går inte!
Efter detta så bestämde sig kroppsdelarna för att ha ett nytt möte. För det verkade som att magen, trots att den inte blev matad, var helt oberörd. Det var som att magen egentligen drog fördel från resten, som bara kände stor utmattning.
Jag är helt OK med att arbeta för magen, så länge jag får tillbaka med energi.
Huvudet talade för gruppen denna gång.
Jag vet varken om jag kommer eller går. Vi bryter strejken.
Armarna och händerna reste sig i överlämnande.
Låt oss bryta strejken!
Handen ville påpeka.
Se bara vad som hände när jag försökte njuta på egen hand. Se vilken röra det blev.
Vi måste tjäna magen. Det är det enda sättet för oss att överleva.
Ja, bryt strejken! Tjäna magen! Tjäna magen!
Så strejken bröts när kroppsdelarna återigen tog upp sina naturliga tjänande positioner till magen. Precis som de olika delarna av kroppen är perfekt anpassade för att tjäna magen, eftersom magen är källan till energi som tilldelas varje del av kroppen, eller som att hälla vatten på trädets rötter för att ge energi till dess grenar och löv, så är den individuella själen naturligt belägen som Sri Krishna, gudomens högsta personlighets tjänare. Krishna är alla orsakers orsak, alla källors källa, den suveräna njutaren och den högsta härskaren över allt som existerar.
So there was some technical problems. Krishna was supposed to appear there in the middle of everything, but so that people don't think that we worship stomachs. Somehow Krishna didn't want it to happen. So about this topic, there is one verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, which I thought we could recite together. Yatha taro mulam nishechanena Yatha taro mulam nishechanena Tripyanti tat skandha bhujopashakha Tripyanti tat skandha bhujopashakha Pranopahara chayatendriyanam Pranopahara chayatendriyanam Tathaiva sarvarhanamachyuteja Tathaiva sarvarhanamachyuteja Maybe someone wants to share? As taro of a tree, mula the root, nishechanena by watering, tripyanti are satisfied, tat its, skandha trunk, bhuja branches, upashaka and twigs, prana the life air, upaharat by feeding, cha and yatha as, indriyanam of the senses, tatha eva similarly, sarva of all demigods, arhanam worship, achyuta of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, ija worship. I forgot to invoke the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. this verse. As pouring water on the roots of a tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body, simply worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service automatically satisfies the demigods who are parts of that Supreme Personality. So, the word sarva means all, so it can also mean all living entities are satisfied when one serves the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada explains, sometimes people ask why this Krishna consciousness movement simply advocates worship of Krishna to the exclusion of the demigods. The answer is given in this verse. The example of pouring water on the root of a tree is very appropriate. In Bhagavad Gita 15.1, it is said, Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakam. This cosmic manifestation has expanded downward, and the root is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As the Lord confirms in Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Krishna is the root of everything, therefore rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Krishna Seva, means automatically serving all the demigods. And then he gives this example with the point is that by supplying food to the stomach, the indriyas, the senses, are automatically satisfied. If one tries to feed his eyes or ears independently, the result is only havoc, as we saw with the banana on the floor. It's not possible for the hand to enjoy by itself. Simply by supplying food to the stomach, we satisfy all the senses. It is neither necessary nor feasible to render separate service to the individual senses. The conclusion is that by serving Krishna, everything is complete. Yes. So this example, which was shown here, and which is spoken about in this verse, is showing our position, of the position of the spirit soul, and the dharma which comes with the spirit soul. The question may be raised that why only Krishna should be served, or why should only God be served? Is that only some dogmatic religious idea? Actually, it is not. It is based on a strong philosophy of understanding our true identity, our dharma. Dharma, in this sense, means our function as spirit soul. Just like the function of the senses, the hand and the leg and the eye and the ear, they have specific functions in serving the body as a whole by supplying food to the stomach. So our position is actually like that. So this is, I wanted to read from Bhagavad Gita. After this famous verse, Tadvidhi Pranipatena, if you want to know the truth, you should just approach a spiritual master and then inquire from him, render service, and like that. And the next verse after that, explains that having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion, for by this knowledge you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. So we have no separate identity from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Prabhupada explained, the sense of an existence separate from Krishna is called Maya, where Ma means not and Ya means this. So Maya means illusion, it doesn't exist. So what doesn't exist? It is our sense of an existence separate from the Lord. That is what is called illusion. And then Prabhupada elaborates on this point later. For want of sufficient knowledge in the absolute science, we are now covered with illusion, and therefore we think that we are separate from Krishna. Although we are separated parts of Krishna, we are nevertheless not different from him. The bodily difference of the living entities is Maya, or not factual. We are all meant to satisfy Krishna. By Maya alone, Arjuna thought that the temporary bodily relationships with his kinsmen was more important than his eternal spiritual relationship with Krishna. The whole teaching of the Gita is targeted towards this end. So here, the whole teaching of the Gita. We have read Gita many times, so the whole teaching of the Gita is that the living being, as Krishna's eternal servitor, cannot be separated from Krishna, and his sense of being in identity apart from Krishna is called Maya. The living entities, as separate parts and parcels of the Supreme, have a purpose to fulfill. We have a purpose to fulfill. Having forgotten that purpose since time immemorial, they are situated in different bodies as men, animals, and demigods. So here, what is that purpose? That is the beginning of spiritual life. You start to inquire about who I am. So Sanatana Goswami asked to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Ke ami kene amaya jarita patraya. Who am I, and why am I going through the threefold miseries? So he went to his spiritual master, and he got, as Krishna explained in Bhagavad Gita, that he got the same answer, that we are all actually, we are parts of Krishna and we are his servants. That was what Krishna said, they are mine. You will not fall into illusion. You will see that all living beings are parts of me, or they are mine. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained that Jiver Svarupoy Krishna Nityadas, Krishna Tatashta Shakti Beda Beda Prakash. It is the living entity's constitutional position to be an eternal servant of Krishna, because he is the marginal energy of Krishna, and a manifestation simultaneously one with and different from the Lord, like a molecular particle of sunshine or fire. So therefore, understanding this, our identity, as parts of him, and we cannot be happy independently of him. Prabhupada explains in the purport of, in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita, that we are not enjoyers and we are not controllers, but we are cooperators. Cooperator with Krishna. If we cooperate with Krishna's enjoyment, then we will take part in his enjoyment. But on the other hand, if we try to enjoy separately from him, then we will be frustrated. This is because we are an amsha. Amsha means part, or fragmental part. Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loki, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We are eternally part of Krishna. But Manasasthani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. We are situated now in material energy, and therefore we have this mind and senses, and we try to be happy independently. So that is our misfortune, because that brings this whole idea is the cause of our misfortune. Krishna Bhuli se jiva anadi bahimukha ataiva maya tarideya samsara dukkha. Forgetting Krishna, the living entity has been attracted by the external feature from time immemorial. Therefore, the illusory energy Maya gives him all kinds of misery in his material existence. So, what is that misery we are going through? It's many things. First of all, the threefold miseries, which Sanatana Goswami explained. But also this attempt for happiness, that is itself misery. In Bhagavatam, it was said that misery begins when the endeavor for happiness begins. The endeavor to be happy in this world, that is the beginning of our suffering. So that is because we are hankering after something. Always hankering. Hankering means you want something, which means you don't have it, which means there is an emptiness. You are not satisfied. And this feeling in itself is not a happy feeling. You are hankering after something you don't have. And then, if you get what you are hankering for, then you will lose it at some point. Or you will not be satisfied with it. Or you will not even get it in the first place. So, whatever happens, it leads to misery. Therefore, it is a duality of kankrati, shochati. Hankering and lamentation. The two go together. You cannot have one without the other. So that is the misery of material existence, which comes about when we forget our purpose or our function in the absolute, our function to serve the absolute. So we are all so that is, our position is one of dependence. We are always dependent in all our activities. The sense of being independent being is foolishness, because we are always required to breathe. We need air, we need sun, we need water, food, so many things. If Krishna withdraws that, we are helpless. So, therefore, most people are in this illusion of being independent. But we should understand that indirectly or directly, the Lord is in control of everything. So, either we are servant of Krishna or we are servant of Maya. We have, Prabhupada also explains in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita. There in the introduction, the philosophy is so nicely described in 30, 40 pages. So there, Prabhupada goes quite to some extent to explain this point of our dharma. This dharma being to serve. We cannot be without service. As we see in this world, one person is serving another, who also serves another person. Or if I only want to serve myself, then I only serve my senses. Or if I want to be happy by myself, not serving anyone, I will still be a servant of my lusty desires and my greed. I will have to work so hard to strive for achieving my material ambitions. So that is also being a servant of these desires. So it's a very unfortunate position we are situated in. Therefore there is a very nice prayer which says, "O my Lord, there is no limit to the unwanted orders of lusty desires. Although I have rendered them so much service, the desires, they have not shown any mercy to me. I have not been ashamed to serve them, nor have I even desired to give them up. O my Lord, O head of the Yadu dynasty, recently, however, my intelligence has been awakened, and now I am giving them up. Due to transcendental intelligence, I now refuse to obey the unwanted orders of these desires, and I now come to you to surrender myself at your fearless lotus feet. Kindly engage me in your personal service and save me." So either we serve Maya or we serve Krishna. We have no other choice. So better serve Krishna, because he is the Surit. He is the most intimate friend of all living entities. Suridam Sarvabhutanam. So he is, first of all, he is the Bhoktaram Yagatapasam. He is the enjoyer. He is the supreme enjoyer. And Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, he is the controller of everything. And Suridam Sarvabhutanam, he is the enjoyer of everything. He is the friend of all living entities. So therefore he is the proper object of worship or service. If we serve, we can serve ourselves, but even materialistic people, they understand that, no, I should not serve myself only. I will be happy if I serve others, if I assist others. If I give a present to someone, then I feel more happy than if I get the present myself. Or if I give some money to a beggar, then I feel very good. So even materialistic people understand the point that we should not only serve ourselves. That how can you have a human society based on that? So, but there is still problems there, because everyone has different interests. The point with this analogy with the stomach and senses, the senses all serving the stomach, is that they all have the same interest to give food to the stomach. As we heard, the hands, they are doing so many things, the legs, they are carrying everything to walk here and there. The mouth is chewing the food so that the stomach can digest it. The eyes are looking so that you can see what to eat. In this sense, everyone is having the same interest. As soon as the hand has its separate interest, then it doesn't work anymore. So in the same way in society, if we all have different interests, then it will only cause conflicts, wars, and not satisfaction. Or even if we try to serve very nicely, like Prabhupada gave the example with Gandhi, who was very sincere in his service to humanity. But people were not satisfied. They killed him. So, however good servant you are in this world, whatever you do, not everyone will be satisfied with you. So, therefore, this service is defective. It cannot be perfect. And also the fruit, what you give, that is also temporary. It will not help them eternally. Like a drowning man, you may help him by giving him a life vest so that he will not sink down into the ocean, and you can give him food to eat and some nice toys to play with while jumping on the waves there in the middle of the ocean. But that is not really helping him. The real help would be to pick him up and put him on the boat, and take him to the land. So therefore, to give people knowledge of Krishna, to wake them up, to inform them about their eternal function in the whole, their function of serving God, then they will be happy wherever they are, whether they are rich or poor, or whether they are externally in a suffering condition. They will always be happy within. So that is the important point. If we have different, again this point, different interests, then conflicts will arise. And it is very nice analogy with if we have a pond of water and we throw some stones in there, then ripples will appear. And if we throw stones at different places, then there will be chaos. These ripples will cross each other and there will be conflicts. But if we throw the stone at the same place, many stones at the same place, then it will be an harmonious, ever expanding lila of waves. So in a similar way, if we all engage in the service of the Lord, then we can achieve real unity and peace. In Bhagavatam, there are different kinds of oneness or Advaitas explained. And one of them is Dravya Advaita, which means oneness in interest. When the interest of all living beings are one and the same, that is to satisfy the Lord. That is, that is called oneness in interest. Then there will be no more conflicts. So people may ask, well, to serve God, they think they have to sacrifice something. They have to stop being happy, and they must do so many boring things to satisfy some person you don't even can see with your senses. Why not just try to be happy? I mean, it's more accessible in a sense. But as I explained, it doesn't work because the hankering and lamentation is always there. The only way to be happy for the soul is to engage in the paradharma, or the supreme occupation of duty, supreme religion. Savai pum samparod halmo yato bhakti radhokshati ahaitukya pratyata yayatma suprasidati. Suprasidati means that one is fully happy or satisfied. So the Atma can only be satisfied by serving the Supreme Lord in devotional service. And two qualities are necessary for this service to actually bring peace and happiness to the soul. That is unmotivated. The service must be unmotivated. We cannot serve for gaining something for our personal benefit, for our own satisfaction. Then it will not lead to this fully happy condition of the self. Also, a hand also, it must serve the stomach fully, otherwise it doesn't work. If it only serves partially, then there is disruption in the body. So we have to serve fully without personal interest. And then ahaitukya pratyata, it must be uninterrupted, it must go on forever, and whatever happens, even in difficult situations, if we continue with our service, then the happy condition of the soul will manifest. So the reason why this is so is because we are part and parcel of Krishna. And all the happiness of this world cannot compare to the happiness one experiences by serving the Lord in love. It is said by, and this is by Prahlad Maharaj, "My dear Lord of the universe," is from the Haribhakta Sudodaya. "I am feeling transcendental pleasure in your presence and have become merged in the ocean of happiness. I now consider the happiness of Brahmananda to be no more than the water in the impression left by a cow's hoof in the earth, compared to this ocean of bliss." So a cow's hoof is very small, and it makes an impression in the earth, and then it's filled with little water. So that is the amount of bliss you feel when you are liberated, and you are in contact or in oneness with Brahman, the supreme, the spiritual reality. I mean, without conception of the personality, but if you are impersonally liberated, then you will feel some bliss, but it will be nothing compared to the ocean of transcendental happiness one experiences in bhakti. And this is the reason why the liberated souls, they always want to serve the Lord. That it's a good question, that why even liberated souls, why they always want to serve. Why not just be satisfied in themselves? Of course there are those liberated persons also, but they have not realized bhakti yet. Just like Shukadeva Goswami, he was a liberated soul from birth. So he didn't want anything to do with this world. He just left. But then when he heard Srimad Bhagavatam, then he became attracted. So the question is, how can something attract a person who is Atmarama, or satisfied in himself? He's already happy. and he has rejected this world. But the Srimad Bhagavatam attracted him. So that means that the nectar of Bhagavatam is higher than liberation. And there are other examples also. So that is, we are all striving for achieving happiness. So that is the process. Should understand our function as Lord Krishna's eternal servant, and serve him without motivation, without interruption. That would conclude this talk on this topic. Because we have Arti in a few minutes. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srimad Bhagavatam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.